thrust for 11 seconds. The second stage, PS2, commences its operation 200 milliseconds after the separation of first stage. By this time, the rocket would have attained 55 kilometers altitude. The closed-loop guidance is initiated, which compares the present stage of rocket to the intended injection point to compute an optimal trajectory. This happens while the rocket is at 59.7 kilometers altitude. At 204 seconds into the flight, the payload fairing is separated as the launch vehicle attains 113 kilometers altitude and the dense atmosphere is no longer present around. These events are taking place in the operational regime of the second stage, which lasts for 153 seconds. PS2 is separated 262.4 seconds into the flight at an altitude of 130 kilometers, while the relative velocity is 4.9 kilometers per second. The third stage, PS3, ignites about a second later and burns for 118 seconds, during which time it adds 12 kilometers to the altitude and enhances relative velocity tremendously from 4.9 kilometers per second to 7.3 kilometers per second. There is a coast phase of 200 seconds that follow PS3 burnout, during which there is no thrust being developed, but the rocket continues to be steered. At 581 seconds into the flight, the PS3 separates and the last and the fourth stage of the rocket, together with the Aditya L1 spacecraft, coasts for a long time thereafter. Till 1396 seconds into flight, the tracking stations at Shar, Port Blair, Brunei and back will be acquiring the real-time performance data of the flight. But thereafter there is no visibility period of around 1600 seconds or 27 minutes. The fourth stage burns twice. First time for a duration of 30 seconds and second time for a duration of 472 seconds. The first burn takes place in no visibility zone and the second burn is tracked by a shipborne terminal placed in Pacific Ocean. About 200 seconds after the completion of second burn of PS4, the injection conditions for the separation of Aditya L1 are expected to be achieved. An altitude of 648.7 kilometers and a relative velocity of 8.9 kilometers per second, which translates into an orbit of 235 by 19,500 kilometers. The injection event of Aditya L1 will be confirmed by tracking station at Kourou. From the initial placement in low Earth orbit, Aditya L1 will undergo a series of earthbound orbit raising and eventually it will exit Earth's sphere of influence to reach Lagrange's point L1 in a journey spanning over 4 months. There it will be placed in a halo orbit around L1. This is how India's first observatory class space-based solar mission will take shape.
Vehicle is in internal battery power.
अब हम उड़ान से 6 मिनट की दूरी पर हैं। ALS जारी है। सभी जांच सुचारू रूप से जारी हैं। इस दौरान यहाँ उपस्थित आप देखिए यहाँ
External power supplies are withdrawn.
व्यूअर्स गैलरी पे लॉन्च व्यू गैलरी पे उपस्थित जन आक्रोश, इनका रोमांच देखते ही बनता है। इतनी मौसम यहाँ लगभग 37 डिग्री का टेम्परेचर है, वायु गति 0.8 मीटर पर सेकेंड। इन सब के बावजूद यहाँ उपस्थित हुए हैं इस रोमांच को देखने के लिए। एयर ट्रैफिक कंट्रोलर और मौसम विभाग की अनुमति भी प्राप्त की जा चुकी है। विभिन्न ऊंचाई पर वायु गति माप ली गई है और इसे ऑनबोर्ड कंप्यूटर पर लोड कर दिया गया है।
The Satish Dhawan Space Center has its own meteorology department which keeps a very close watch on the weather at the launch base. Weather today is going to be dry and hot. The skies will remain clear. Ground winds will be benign and upper winds also are benign for the flight of PSLV C-57 Aditya L1 mission. We are 4 minutes, 23 seconds to the launch.